of the first 6 dioceses of independent Serbian church seated in stone. Since that time, over 8 centuries, about 70 bishops have performed this duty, while its seat was relocated on multiple occasions due to historical circumstances. In the second half of the 15th century, when the Turkish invaders enslaved Hercegovina and its center Blagaj, the town of Stefan Ukčić-Kosača, Herceg of St. Sava, the village on the banks of Neretva, the later city of Mostar, began to develop into the center, taking over the role of Blagaj. At the time, Christian population was living nearby what is now known as the Old Bridge. In this historical period, the Orthodox Church was of utmost importance to the Serbian people in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Since the second half of the 18th century, the Orthodox dioceses in Bosnia and Herzegovina were under the jurisdiction of Constantinople and Greek bishops, which proved to be beneficial since the Patriarch of Constantinople communicated directly with the headquarters of the Turkish Empire and the highest Turkish officials in Constantinople. This enabled him to protect the Orthodox people and their most basic human and religious rights. In the mid-19th century, the Turkish Empire rapidly starts weakening and losing wars, and at the time it was often referred to as the sick man upon the Bosphorus. Herzegovinians, primarily Serbs from Mostar, during this period of loosening of Turkish restraints, managed to develop trade and crafts, and to become trade intermediaries between East and West of that time. Not only did it bring economic prosperity, but cultural, political, and spiritual as well. The most obvious indicator of this is the rise of the Mostar Cathedral Church of the Holy Trinity, which was built from 1863 to 1873. At the time, it was the largest Orthodox church in the Balkans. After the congress in Berlin, Bosnia and Herzegovina was left under Austro-Hungarian rule. Suffering of the Serbian people continued along with this fight for freedom. Sarajevo assassination and World War I also caused great suffering of the Serbian people in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Protests against Serbs were held in the aftermath of the assassination. Many Serbian stores, factories, and houses were ravaged and some were destroyed by the fire. Educated men were imprisoned. The Second World War brought about the greatest suffering of the Serbian people and the church in Bosnia and Herzegovina. However, the circumstances were not equally intolerable at all places. Life was much more bearable under Italian or German rule than in Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina and Srem, which were ruled by NDH, self-proclaimed, fascist, independent Croatian state. In the summer of 1941, mass executions of Serbs started in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Slaughter done by Ustašas, Croatian fascist movement commenced simultaneously in counties of Nevesinje, Gacko, Ljubinje, and then in other parts of Lower Herzegovina. It is intriguing that in November 1941, Catholic Bishop of Mostar Alojzije Mišić writes to Catholic Archbishop of Zagreb about the terror over Serbs. I quote, People were captured like beasts all over Herzegovina. They were slaughtered, killed, thrown the cousins alive, women, mothers with children, grown girls, little children, both male and female, were thrown into pits. In the very city of Mostar, hundreds were tied and taken away to be killed like animals. Eventually came migrations to Serbia. Everywhere you could hear cries, pain, suffering. People ran away in all directions, even to Rome, to Mussolini. It is no wonder then that converting Orthodox people into Catholics failed. Bloodthirsty military officials, concentration camps, and savage behavior of some individuals, along with lack of support from regional authorities, did a lot of harm to both religious and national well-being of our people. The end of the quote. The extent to which Serbian people suffered besides Prebilovci massacre is best described by the fact that out of 9,469 Serbs living in Mostar, only 900 remained there by the end of the war. In 1992,